it's Anahata. How are you? Welcome to my mini workshop. We are going to really explore some commitments that are keys to manifestation so that you can move past any problems into the vibration of the solutions that are here for you as an alchemist, as the sole author of your life. Now, you will want to have a pad of paper ready, and we'll get going right now. So, first thing I want to do is just to help you understand that when you really dive into manifestation, it's often the case that most of us suddenly feel like we're not doing it right simply because we aren't seeing perhaps the results we expect based on the work that we've been putting in to achieve our goals. So that's very common. And this workshop's going to clear that up for you so that you can finally move ahead and with faith that the laws of the universe are working for you rather than against you, because that's just it. They're not working either for you or against you. They're working. It's whether you are working with them or against yourself, really. And so let's first define what I mean by manifesting, because it's important to understand that manifesting means not that you're creating things, it means that you're feeling the way you want to feel when your wishes come true, and you're allowing the grid that will coordinate that reality into your magnetic field. That's what it means. So I'm going to say it again slowly. It's the feeling you get that you want to feel when your wish comes true. And that's going to create an electromagnetic vortex of energy that pulls to you the raw components. We're talking people, places, things that you desire into physical form. So it's very important not to get that mixed up. A lot of people think manifesting is doing to get, but it's actually allowing to receive. So you can manifest anything you desire: health, wealth, loving relationships, a fulfilling career, or just happiness and fulfillment if you can get out of stress response. Okay, that's the key. If you can stop depleting your energy through fear-based thoughts of lack and doubt, and if you can take your focus off the things going wrong in your life and use them instead as fuel for new resonances of peace, ease, and fulfillment. So it is very much a catch-22. To feel better, you must feel better. To become abundant, you must be abundant. To attract the love of your life, you must be the love of your life. To do what you love and receive in exchange, you got to do what you love and be willing to receive. This is going to require what I call getting out of your mind and into your heart space. That's your sacred anahata. So I want you to write this down. I choose to get out of my mind and into my heart. Good. Now, awareness is the key to that. It is the key to any transformation. So let's spend a few minutes considering the issues with manifestation so that we can, in our asking, find the solutions. Sound good? Okay. One of the biggest problems with the law of attraction, the energy that magnetizes your desires, which is the thing that pulls manifestation into being, is that we don't dream big enough. And before you tell me, well, Anahata, you need to be realistic, I just want you to realize this. The truth is, we can attract anything that we can imagine. So most of us stay small because we don't want to get disappointed by our inability to achieve our loftier goals. And so this is a mistake, because when we set limits on what we desire, it doesn't prevent you from dreaming. Because if you really get real, you've already dreamt them. You know what you really want. It merely folds into your vortex of magnetism, resonances of doubt, inadequacy, and other ways to prevent yourself from receiving what you truly want. So, lesson one, dream bigger than you think you can achieve. And this is going to make the other things you do line with even more certain because they aren't the end point. They're just the beginning, the little steps along the way. So get clear with what you want. It's so wonderful when you do this. And be sure to remain open to things you haven't even yet imagined. And that can often lead you well beyond your initial limited vantage of dreaming in the first place. The universe truly is limitless. Micromanaging your expectations is like editing out improvements you didn't even know were available. Chances are the universe has an even better plan for you than you can currently define. So it's time to write down the first commitment to yourself and do something about it today. I commit to dreaming big. Write that down. I commit to dreaming big. Awesome. So, problem number two with manifestation is that people tend to gauge their success on what they have, which puts them at a continual arm's width from their goal. Once you define what you want, you can't search for it in absence and simultaneously become a vibrational match. So, lesson two is very simple. Manifestation isn't about receiving something, it's about surrendering and allowing. When you stop trying to control the how of what will come, you begin to attract blessings you didn't even know would be the keys to aligning with further manifestations faster. Another issue is that when we surrender and allow, if we are expecting things to materialize instantaneously, we'll be setting up timelines of expectation that block us from our goals rather than allow them. So I want you to write down your second commitment to resolve issue number two with the following. I surrender and allow my visions to come to me. I surrender and allow my visions to come to me. Let's move on to lesson three, and that is that gestation is required. This is the joy of the journey, because that's the point. It's about the joy of the journey, the experience, the lessons you learn, the places you go. And the key to manifesting faster is to enjoy that process of getting ready for the final goal. And we don't celebrate long, do we, right? Once we're there, we have more goals instantaneously. So the process isn't about the end point because there is no end. Have you ever planned a vacation and felt the relief of where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and experience? And sometimes it can actually even feel more exciting and fulfilling than the vacation itself. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. And so realize you don't want to have it all right now because you're never going to be done. You're on an endless cycle of asking, aligning, allowing, activating, and repeating again and again. When you are content in the now and excited for what's to come, while allowing natural processes to take place in coordinating, you've reached your goals emotionally, which makes you a very fast match and speeds up the gestation process. You'll only experience what you're ready for is the zoomed out point of this. So I want you to write down this third commitment to yourself now. I am grateful in the now and excited for the next and next steps of the journey. I am grateful in the now and excited for the next and next steps of the journey. Wonderful. You're doing great. So to recap the three main problems with manifestation. One, we don't dream big enough. 2, we gauge success on what we have, which isn't here yet. And 3, we expect immediate results. So, reverse engineering that, the solutions therefore are to dream bigger than you think you can achieve, to surrender and allow your manifestation without taking tabs on what is and isn't, and to remain grateful and content now, not when. Wow, Anahata, you may be thinking, doesn't sound like we have much control over the process other than planting the seeds of desire. And you'd be right. We are trained in this time space to create matter from matter, which requires a lot of action. And those are timelines that also need to play out before we can succeed. So check in with yourself and see if any of the following is true for you. Do you tend to put things off or lack the motivation to move towards your goals, keeping yourself busy with low hanging fruit? Yes or no? Is that a tendency of yours? Do you tend to get stressed out over relatively small things and allow that stress to derail your momentum forward and to further justify your limitations? Ask yourself. Now, the last thing I want you to ask yourself is, do you ask other people for their opinions about how best to move forward? And therefore, there's not a lot of confident action forward in any specific direction before second guessing or over analyzing your choices. Does that ring true for you? So these are not all, indicators that you are trying to make things happen rather than letting things happen. So we've simmered it down to just one thing you need to absolutely do to manifest your goals. And I would write this down. Stop trying to control and instead start aligning. That's it. It's that simple. So let's write down one last commitment statement and then take action. I commit to releasing control and instead choose to align with my desires that already desire me. All right, so to help you do all of this, I've put together a journey, and I'd like to invite you all to get out of your mind and start creating a life you love from the space of your sacred heart. Yes, you are and should be in control of what you desire, but it's called co-creating because for things to actually manifest, you must be a match to those manifestations, which requires you to step out of the way and grow beyond your current identity. So there's no better way to do this than to get out of your mind, out of those looping patterns keeping you small and jaded, out of the dense emotions that magnetize more of the same, those cycles where you aren't happy and can't seem to find the end, out of your mind into your heart. Now, did you know that you have 12 superpowers hidden within your heart space? The Anahata, indeed, has 12 petals, the lotus. And when you activate the 12 petals of your heart, something amazing happens. You stop controlling because things always work out for you automatically. Your manifestations come quickly and they delight you along the way. You stop swimming upstream and start flowing in coherence with life. You also become so happy and satisfied that you could care less if or when your manifestations arrive because you've already quantum leaped into the end result you wanted anyways, which is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Ironically, when you do all of this, you're a match and the universe delivers physically. So if you're ready to feel better now and live a life you love, spending the next 3 months with me to activate the 12 petals of your heart will be a life-changing journey that you'll look back on as the thing that changed it all for you. Now, I've priced the tuition low so that no one has an excuse based on lack, because it's very common for people to throw that excuse on their track. So I've just removed it. It's 1111 per month, which is what you're going to spend on something you don't need per month anyway, right? So don't be tempted to throw the excuse on your track that you don't have the funding for it. You do, and you're worth it. And you need to invest in yourself beyond freebies as skin in the game, because money is energy. And where energy goes, it grows. And so say yes to yourself in this very small way. And also, don't be tempted to throw this excuse on your track. I'd love to, Anahata. I just don't have time. If you don't have time, you need this the most. We all have 24 hours in the day. It's what we do with it. It's the sacred space we set and the commitments we have to ourselves to align with where we want to go and what we want to experience, and honoring your own free will. Besides, it's only going to be 1 hour per week to digest and actuate. You could do all of it at once weekly. And if the time doesn't work when we meet, you can do it in replay. And you can also break it up into bite-sized replays if you prefer to do that. The final excuse that you may be feeling is that you've tried these things before and they never work. There are so many flawed premises in that statement that I could spend an entire video breaking it down, but suffice it to say, this very belief is the reason you aren't getting results in your life. Okay? If you believe you've already tried it and it doesn't work, then that's it. You've guaranteed failure. And so this program is unique, and there is nothing like it in the entire world. So not only is that belief limiting, it's not true because you haven't tried this before. All right, we're going to use water bending. You don't need to know what that is. Alchemy. You don't need to know what that is. Breath work and other practical tools during the 3-month journey. So we aren't just learning lessons, we are supporting those lessons energetically through activations. And again, you don't need to know or have any prior experience, and the instructions are very easy and quick to follow. We are basically thinking, doing, and being. Okay, this journey is designed to bleed into all other areas of your life. And it doesn't end when the lesson is over, but rather we are weaving these lessons and activations into your daily life. This is going to override old habits, especially subconscious, and have you creating the new as you go. So no more hoping to become or live the life you desire. You're going to have done it. It will finally be a reality. So I look forward to beginning this with you all on April 14th, 2023. And if for some reason you're seeing this video after that, join and take it at your own pace. It will all be there for you to follow and implement. Now, let's end by reading out our commitments that we've made during this mini workshop and then take action. I commit to dreaming big. I commit to surrender and allow my visions to come to me. I commit to being grateful in the now and excited for the next and next steps of the journey. I commit to releasing control and instead choose to align with my desires that already desire me. Awesome, guys. Placing both hands on our heart and breathing in and out. It is so. Now, you have formed a lot of new neurons, pathways, thought patterns, ahas in your head just now during this mini workshop. The unfortunate thing is, within 60 minutes, 70% of those new firing and wirings that took place during this workshop will have dispersed and will eventually fade away unless you take action. Okay. So commit to taking action, whether it's with me or someone else. And do consider joining the 3-month journey. You can find out more or register at outofyourmindjourney.com. She's one of my assisting frequency consultants. Her name is Susan Green, and she created this amazing 48 card messenger animals oracle deck. Okay, right here. And I thought it would be appropriate, given this mini workshop, to give you a taste of the transformation that's possible and also the synergistic nature of pulling a code, activating it, and understanding what is this thing. And so I set my sacred space and I shuffled the deck, and what I pulled out, I've known what this is before, but I was astonished as I read about what the hawk delivers. So join me and listen in as I share with you her words from this beautiful deck and this beautiful companion explanation guide, which I believe should be blown up into a book of its own. It's extraordinary. So here we go. And as I read this, guys, think through just how perfectly this underlines and highlights the mini workshop that you just took. Hawk is about focus and ambition. This force is profound. You may be experiencing a driving energy that is working to bring you what you need through staying focused, clear, and on task to achieve. Listen to your ideas, look for the signs, and interpret everything that intuitively comes to you. This is a period of expansion that aligns to higher purpose, and in that, an awakening of core abilities and traits, connecting you to amazing new or ongoing opportunities. The hawk spirit is a keen and fearless companion. Recognize this drive you have to achieve, limited by your own perceived expectation. So if you dream bigger, that is where the ideas, thoughts, and opportunities presenting are going to take you. This is a fabulous energy for those in business or for aesthetic ventures in life. Organization and staying on task to get things done flows so your vision feels achievable for you. Trust where you are and keep pushing the boundaries, being sure to cross your T's and dot your I's, meaning pay attention to the details. You can exist potentially as focused, optimistic, inspired action. Embrace that in all it is through this cycle, and you will be amazed at what you can achieve. So isn't that absolutely wild? It's exactly what we just talked about. How beautiful that it was magnetized. And of course, the reverse energy is interesting as well, because this is going to be what's blocking you. Perhaps it could be the reason why you think, I don't really need the out of my mind journey because fill in the blank. So I'm going to read this and see how this rings true. And so it's up to you which direction you want to go on this. Where do you want to be on the bandwidth of hawk? And of course, I'm going to give you the code, and you can write it down with the words love and gratitude, and it will point you into the focused and ambition sector and pull you away from this reversal, which is cynicism and sarcasm. The consciousness here is toxic, and it is feeding on the soul's ability to achieve, to find focus, and connect to living assertively. This energy that associates here is domineering, and it controls the perception, processing pathways, manifesting into a reactive, disbelieving thought path that is blocking any ability to be free. The opportunities to excel and be inspired are out there, but first you must detach from the viral cords of negative consciousness that is rebuilding a constant victim mentality. Consider this. Is this coming from another person, from situations you are connected to, or through inner thoughts? Adopt assertive healing practices that help you to recognize and break down the emotional walls. The mindset here is profoundly stuck. This could be yours, it could belong to someone blocking you. So work to recognize the source to create assertive change. Breaking free of this energy will be profound for you, and you can make the choice to not live this way any longer. And you'll suddenly feel how this animal spirit, the hawk, is presently guiding you to greater clarity and a sense of purpose. This is a learning curve for your soul. It's one evolution. There are many of these. Realize that it is a cycle to work through, to grow, and to help you in turn to step up and into your soul's higher purpose. One step at a time, each situation, each person, and every choice you make as a conscious decision to let go of these toxic ties and move into clarity, purpose, and potential. And isn't that key? Amen. Thank you so much, Susan. And guys, I'm going to put a recipe number, the code, the assisting frequency for hawk totem animal. And you're just going to write the words love and gratitude with the code, tape it to water facing in, let it sit for 6 hours, and take a sip or two. And if you don't drink the rest, pour it out at the roots of a tree. Don't pour it down the sink. And this is going to help you get a flavor for the sorts of constructive information being presented and then activated through actual alchemy, practical magic, doing something with the information so that it actually makes a difference in your life and overrides any limiters contributing to your lack of following through in the specific areas you need to uh, keep going through in order to reach your goal. And again, the heart petal activation is powerfully important, which is why we make it 3 months, right? We're going to do 1 petal per week, and we're going to learn about that petal. We're going to embody that activation. We're going to do it. And then through the week, we're going to actually achieve the goals that we set forth based on those activations. We're going to become aware of the timelines that we're choosing and that we connect to so that we can make better choices that do align with the blessed sacred space of your heart and the petals that empower us to get out of our minds into our hearts. I'm your host, Anahata. Thank you so much for being with me. The link to join is here or on this page. See you there. Bye for now.